Happy Flosstube Friday, friends! My name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube, episode number 56. Yay! If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today, I'm going to have for you 3 stitchy whips. It's a little bit of mix and match of all the things. 3 stitching whips, a finish, a knitting whip that is super exciting, and we're going to talk about the Tiger Lily quilt along. So we've got stitching covered, knitting covered, and quilting covered. Trifecta of fun, yay! So without further ado, let's just dig right into the stitching, shall we? Oh, we're also going to have a giveaway because that's fun. So stick around, grab your stitching, something to drink, and I hope we have some fun together here on Flosstube Friday. Remember, I come every Flosstube Friday, and then sometimes I give you little surprise videos during the week if I've got something exciting to tell you. But I've been pretty much just doing Fridays right now. Pretty busy around here, but that's okay. Let's give you an update of what I've been stitching on since last Friday. Should we start with the finish? I think we should. So I showed you guys this stitch was, unfortunately, I don't have my start date because this was before I had my tracker information card. So I don't really know. I think I started it 2021-ish. I picked it back up and reinvigorated my love for this stitch during my whip parade, as many of us do. During a whip parade, you're like, oh, haven't seen this in a while. This is so close to a finish. And that's exactly where we were. So let me take the chart out of the bag so you don't get that crazy glare from the plastic. But so what I finished is Plum Street Samplers 100 Ways. Such a cute, sweet. I had goals of finishing it for Valentine's Day because it's adorable. But, you know, better late than never, right? So I finished it, and without further ado, I actually ironed it and put it on a board for you. Ooh. I had plans to fully finish it, but time got away from me, and here we are. So maybe sometime soon. So here it is. I love it so much. So let me give you a little bit of the details that I do know, even though I don't have my tracker card. I am an Aida girl stitcher. Welcome. Everything that I stitch is going to be on Aida from 14 count to 20 count. So I do all the counts, but it's always Aida because I can't see the linen or the even weave, and everything still looks good on Aida, and I'm okay with it. So let me see. Okay, so you can see this is white, obviously. So this is a baby pink. I think I've told you guys this before. I'd hand dyed this pink. You ready for it? Using Skittles. I got my son's, like, one of his favorite candies is Skittles. So he got one of those big, like, share gallon size, look like a gallon size bag of Skittles. And so I picked out maybe 10 or 15 of the red, put it in a mason jar, and put some bubbly water, like tonic water, seltzer water, in it. And the bubbles just melt the color candy coating. It's amazing we're putting that in our body, but it just melts this color dye until it becomes this beautiful bubbly pink color. And I was like, let's just see what happens. So I threw in this piece of just plain white Zweigart that I had, let it sit for a day or two, and then I rinsed it out and gave it a good wash, not wash, but a good rinse so it was running clear. And it's just the sweetest, this is the pink. So you just get to see the sweetest pink color. And that's exactly what I wanted. So you can see I did make some chart changes. And I think I showed you guys that maybe during the whip parade. But let's just talk about it right here since we got the finish for us. So you can see, because this is, I stitched on Aida, and a couple of these were charted over one. Over one stitching on Aida is not my friend. It's not my favorite. Let's just be honest right there. So right here was a couple of the changes I made. And you can see, so that word in is charted over one. And I said, well, why? So all I did is I charted it, used an I and an N somewhere else from the chart that was regular, size, and brought it down here. And I moved the in love so that the in wasn't charted over one. And so that was easy enough. And so I just, moved around some of these hearts. They're real easy. I did leave out that quilty starry thing, and I just put 4 hearts instead. I did end up having to do this Y over one. There was just no way to squeeze it over and configure that a little bit. And then the other changes, don't look too closely at their faces. Just look from afar, because their over one faces is hard. It's just it's not easy. So from afar, they look like cute little Jane Austen people, holding their wreath of love. It's adorable. So the over one faces weren't my favorite, but that's okay. And so I filled in. So I did do some color changes. Let's see. Here is my, like I said, my ball of floss that was in. So now I get my project bag back. This is one of my favorite project bags. This is my watermelon block project bag. I did a tutorial on how to do this, super easy with the points. Okay, so I will link that down below. It's a fruit block, super fun. And of course, you know, okay. So I get my watermelon block project bag, but this is my Hot Mess Express thread. So this was a Silks for You white, so a creamy snow white. So that's the white I used. And Blue Coat Red. Yeah, that wasn't called for. So I've got Blue Coat Red in here. I've got Chablis, Gunmetal, Porpoise, Artichoke, Gassed Endive, and then a couple DMCs, the Skin Tone 950 and 3045. I don't even know. Oh, that's okay. Really, his 6 buttons on his coat. You do not need an overdyed for 6 buttons. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. Like, so you have to really. I do. First of all, I love going to like 1-2-3 Stitch or Fat Quarter Shop or all the things and just being like, kit it all up for me. Do the things. Yay. Okay, well, so I learned the hard way, or I've learned as I've been stitching, that that's not always the best, most cost-effective use of my stitching budget. Because, for example, 6 buttons don't need an overdyed. These, you know, handful of yellow florals on her dress don't need an overdyed. I want the overdyed in this pink. See all that variegation in the pink in the background? That's bang for your buck, in my opinion. That's where it's worth it. And in the gray, you can see some of the rise. You can see that I'm a vertical, we've talked about this before. I'm a directional overdyed. I do not stitch one at a time, but I'm okay with it. But you can still get the variegation. So that's where it's worth it to me. But those little things. So I've now decided, and it takes a little longer for me to do. And I have an example because I do have something kitted up for a SAL that we're starting tomorrow. So I did the exact, what I'm talking about, I did it then. And so it takes a little longer because you can't just automatically add to cart. But I feel better about my stitchy budget. I think it stretches my stitchy budget when I do it this way. So anyway, that is my finish for today. I hope you like her. I am going to, as I always do, finish her myself. I think I'm going to try to find some kind of frame or mat or some kind of placky boardy thing. It's going to hang on the wall. Moral of the story. It's going to hang on the wall in my studio right when I come in because it just makes me happy. Love pink, love the things, love the love. So, as I like to do, I like to pass the stash. So that's the giveaway for today. Are you wanting to stitch 100 ways? Well, enter the giveaway. How do you enter the giveaway? You need to make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, that you like the video, and you comment down below using the word love, because it's love and it's sweet and the things. And so I will use the random YouTube comment generator next Friday, next video, to pull the winner that uses the word love. Remember, don't add apostrophe or S or loves or any of the things. It has to be the word love. The end. That's it. And so that's how the YouTube comment generator works. I will search the word love and pull the winner, and then I'll ship this cutie pattern off to you, and you can stitch too. And we can be little Plum Street Loves twinsies. Okay, so that is my finish and the giveaway. Check, check, check. Now, let's move on to some other things. Take number 3. You don't know that because we're just like, but I was all over showing you the chart. Anyway, what I pulled out this week to work on was my Sweet Miss Felicia. I wanted to give her some love, so she got one night of love. Now remember, Miss Felicia, I am using a custom RFL floss color conversion. This was the perfect one for me to do because there were only 12 colors. So I did a color conversion for her, and I'm loving it. Love it so much. All right, so what I did this week is I chugged right along. I did not iron it for you, so sorry. I ironed the other one. Can you tell what I did? You might not know. What I did is this little floral motif right there. So one night of stitching, I got this little pomegranate, Venus flytrap, funky dragon fruit. I mean, it just, what do you see? What do you see? That floral, all I see is funky. So I got her done, and then I did a couple more, maybe colors in the borders. I don't know. So I think next time I pull her out, she's going to need it's going to be a border night. That's what I like to do. I kind of switch between motif and border night, motif and border night. You know, I've talked about this before, but I did cut the top off. I'm leaving the words off. I'm going to move I did this one because I think I'm going to have to shimmy this one over to kind of bring this guy down here, or I want this rose somewhere else. So I am going to do a little bit of finagling and recharting it. Not really recharting because I'm not recharting, but kind of moving the chart around, kind of a little chart Tetris maybe, shall we call it? So that one got some love this week. I love that. Close. It's one of my big girls. Let me just show you in case you are loving the colors and you want to join. I do have a blog post on my website, which is linked down below, that will take you directly to the blog post that shows you the color conversion, so you don't have to snap a screenshot. But this is the called for DMCs and then what I use for RFL instead. I started this on August 18th, 2022, called for DMCs, converted to RFL floss. It's stitched on 20 count LFA popover. And so I'm using one strand of floss of RFL, and I love it. And like I told you guys before, this is in my cute little RFL. I'm loving this stitch so much. Because I kind of geek out on organization and all the funs that are associated with that, but it is a fun stitch, and slowly but surely, we're over 6 months on that girl. She needs a little bit more love, but you know, I started, it happens. So I did not work on Harriet this week. I decided to give her a little rest. So instead I pulled out two of my other samplers, and I just showed you one. And so the other sampler that got pulled off this week is also this is one of my big girls. She is a SAL that I am doing with my friend Sarah. And where is my tracker card? Well, there it is. So not much to it because I am just using the called for DMCs, but this is Miss Lucy Calcutt 1826. I'm stitching it on 18 count covered bridge, 281 by 380. So remember what I said about this being a big girl? Let me show you the chart. I think I pulled this back out because Miss Jessica just got this chart in the mail, and she's like, I'm not going to start it. Sarah's did her house in blue. So fun. I am doing the red slowly but surely. So this is my big girl. She's 280 by 380. Whew, big girl. 18 count covered bridge, LFA linen. I told you that. So I am using one strand of DMC over one. So this is my floss keeper that I'm keeping all my pretty floss in. I love that. That's for bobbinated floss. And let's look at what I did this week. So this one got a couple nights of love. It was one of those things where I was like, ooh, one more night. It's kind of like an addiction. But so I'm trying to do motif at a time. And so I still haven't finished that basket. So I should have gone back to her. This is the center. I did a center start. So I started there. And then I moved down to the big girl house. Still lots of fill-in opportunity for the house. So what have I done? So you can't see too well, but it's there. You see the white windows? There's 4 white windows that got stitched in. They'll pop more when they get framed with their black around the frames. But can you see there? You can see the sun It's not my friend, but there it is. And then I did some more grass under that deer. And then I went over to the right. And then I started the border. That bottom border is super fun. And it's super cut. First of all, who doesn't love 3 shades of pink? This girl does. So that is so fun. So that was what got me stuck on, okay, not just one night. Okay, not just 2. I think this was 3 nights. So I did all of this border work. This was all new. And then there's some of the grass is new. And that's it. And the windows. I did some windows. So that, chugging right along. But, you know, this was my take a break from Miss Harriet and give Miss Lucy some love. So she got some. Can we just drool over this covered bridge for a little bit? Like I said, 18 count LFA linens from my friend Sue. Covered bridge. I'm a junkie for the LFA linens, Ada. It's just so fabulous in my hands. So this I'm just going to put back into my project keeper because if I don't, it's going to be all over the place. All right, friends. So those are my WIPs. Now let's talk about what I've got kitted up. All right, so if you don't know my sweet friend Jessica from Sweetwater Stitcher, it's her 1-year Flosstube tomorrow, February 25th. Happy Flosstube, Jessica. So she is doing couple things. She's having a fantastic video. Spoiler, there might be a giveaway that looks familiar. I'll just leave it like that. So that's fun. She's doing a stitch along. I think she's doing a live. The details, she kind of had fuzzy details last week, and I haven't watched if she loaded a video last night. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I wake up on Friday morning and get ready for my video. But so she probably has more details. Oh no, she's not doing a Thursday video. Saturday only. Anyway, tomorrow, things. Watch last week's. There's a stitch along. That's the moral of the story. Stitch along. And I was like, okay, of course I have to join immediately. So I added this to my cart and got it sent to me stat. Thank goodness, because I called my LNS and they're like, nope, we don't have that one. They kind of get things, because this is an older chart. I think this is from 2015 or 16. So, you know, sometimes those older charts are hard to get at your local NS because they're always getting ready, like market. Coming up. So they need to make room, and my shop is really, really tiny. So they have to make room for the new stuff, so getting rid of the old stuff. Anyway, so I got it. It came in, thank goodness, yesterday. Last night, went to the mailbox, got the chart, and this is what I was going to talk about. So I was restrained from just pushing the button at 1, 2, 3 stitch of chart and adding all the floss, because like I talked about before. So this is the chart she's starting for her stitch along. So cute. And of course, as a quilter, you know, I need this somewhere in my studio where I don't know, but why didn't I already have it? I don't know. So of course, I immediately had to get on that. So the 2 reasons why I didn't add it to cart or add the floss to cart was, 1, I was changing the fabric color, as I like to do here at Tiger Lily. So I didn't want to just blindly assume that the floss colors were going to work on my new fabrics. And I have a pretty good thread wall. I should show you one day, but my thread wall does consist of lots of overdyed. I have the whole full Miss Sadis silk collection that I treated myself to a couple of years ago. I kind of treat that as liquid gold. I don't use it very often. Except I am using it for the 12 days of Christmas from Hello from Liz Matthews. Did you see day 8? It came out and her little maid of milking is adorable. But anyway, that's what I say my Miss Sadis silk, super special stuff. So I do have that though. And then I also have been collecting my Mo's silk, which is a Florida hand dyer of silk that you buy on this Facebook group. I've talked about her before. So fun in that you can get, she does a Saturday sale every Saturday, 10 different colors. You can buy hanks or skeins of 17 yards. It's very reasonable. I love it. I'm adding to my collection all the time. Let's just say that. So I do have quite a, substantial, I felt pretty confident that between my thread wall and my DMC boxes that I could get enough threads on hand, even if it was a 1 day, kit up to get started tomorrow with the SAL. So that is my plan. So this morning, bright and early, I decided we're going to kit this up so I can show you my little tiger lily conversion just for funsies. So step 1, chart. Step 2, now I can't show you the chart. I will show you what I do. So right here, see this little staples? So right here, boop, 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 this is the actual chart. And I put in one of those page protector keeper, those plasticky page protectors. So that way it doesn't get all crinkled and wrinkled and fun. So that's in the back of my keepers. So then I was like, okay, so let's go to my Ada box. So I knew I wanted to do a color. So she did it in this light, I forget what the color was, but it's just 28 count something. And it looks like a baby blue to me, like an ocean baby blue. And I, lovely. I looked at the blues. I looked at the purples. If you're new here, or if you're not new here, this does not come as a surprise to you. Because what color did I pick? Pink. Of course I did. So following the directions, look, I even searched it. Following the directions, you needed 3 pieces of fabric. This one is 8 by 23-ish. I don't know what margins were given in the directions, so I'm in the ballpark. I feel very confident that I don't need like huge margins to sew this together. But so this fabric is 14/6. It started out as 14 count swagger. But then Patrick hand dyed me a bunch of Ada for my birthday last year. And I think this one, I didn't have it labeled properly, but I think this one was cranberry juice. And so he just let it sit. I talked about it a year or so ago. But this was the cranberry juice pink. So there's the sun shining in. But so this is my 8 by 23 piece. And then you need a piece for the top. And then you need the piece for the bottom. Bottom, I didn't serge because I just need that for sewing. But I did go ahead and serge. That's the problem. But it's not a problem. When I dye at home, I feel like my edges get like super bonkers, wild and straggly. So I always like to give them a quick serge so that way, I don't lose margin. There we go. So this is the color I chose. Now, so that was step 1. Step 2 was looking at the thread chart. Now I can't show you the chart because the called for threads are in the corner of the chart. So I don't want to show you the chart, but let's just talk about the colors for a minute. There are 10 colors. Now this one is hard. I wish that this color photo, or there were a couple of color photos, because there is it's a 4-sided block. This is part of the block series. And of course, the 4 sides are different. And so some of the called for colors, you can't see in this one view of one side. So that was a little frustrating, especially for me, because I like to color convert, but stay in the realm of what we're calling for sometimes. So anyway, there's 10 called for flosses. All of them are over-dyed. Do you need over-dyed for all of them? No, you do not. For example, this is a prime example. See that little silver circle right there? It's supposed to be a needle threader, I think. That looks like a needle because those are those are needles. This is a needle book, and that's a needle threader. It's like 25 stitches of gray in a box, in a circle. That's the only time you use that color. Do you need an over-dyed skein for that? I didn't feel you did. I mean, it looks good if I had it and I pulled from stash. Awesome. But if I had kitted it up and got the 10 over-dyed sent to me, there were 3 that I would have been like, man, I could have totally gotten away with an 89-cent DMC versus a $2.89 over-dyed. I don't know. Anyway, so that's, unless you're adding to stash, which I fully support, stash it up. But if you want to stretch your money, this is why I didn't do it that way. So I'm kitting it up. So the unfortunate part for you, well, at least maybe, if you like to kit up like I do, today's kit up is kind of hard because 8 out of 9 of them are Mo's silk. And so like I was explaining, Mo's silks are not ones that you can go and grab because it's one and done dyes. So the moral of the story is I've got mine kitted up. There's 2 shades of red. There's 2 shades of pink. That's part of the 10. There's this gray blackboard, I think is what it's called for. The stem, super variegated. That's one color. So I fully support that one. And then those are the buttons. This yellow for the measuring tape. Lamb's wool was this ivory color for the back of the needle book. And then cappuccino, I think was this called for the base of the sewing machine. And that's it. So let me see. So I did do a project information card. Woo, it's a lot going on. And I will show you, here's all my colors. They're, like I said, in the spirit of what's called for. The good news is I think they're going to look so great on my pink. Now, the problem is some of the pink, it's almost like the exact same color, but it's okay because that pink is part of the polka dots inside the red. So it'll pop. It's not going to be pink on pink. It'll be inside those tomatoes. So that's one of the things. I had fun this morning. It took me about 10-15 minutes to just go to my thread wall and pull the things. I did have to pull out my handy dandy DMC chart, which I love because some of the overdyes, sockeye. I'd never heard of sockeye before. So it's not a weak Styleworks color that I was familiar with. I didn't even know what color family we were talking about. And that was one of the ones that's on a part of this stitch that you can't see in the picture. So thank goodness I pulled out my DMC chart and I went to the DMC equivalent that is charted. Saw it was a different shade of pink. Now it makes sense. Sockeye salmon. I get it. Okay. But I didn't get it. Maybe I hadn't had enough coffee yet. But so that's why there's 2 shades of pink, 2 shades of reds, a green, a black. Anyway, so I've got mine all kitted up. This is my measuring tape. Isn't it sweet? This is a Mo's silk. So this is what I do. So her things come with the Mo's tag and I put them on my own hand-dyed playing cards. And then that way, this was just one little mini skein. And then like this one, so this is, I bought a hank of this color. So I've got like 2 or 3 of these cards with a bunch of them. But if it's just one 17-yard skein of yellow, I got that. But I love that. I love it. I'm excited. I can't wait to start with Jessica. I'm hoping that my Saturday night, I don't have any plans. I don't get wild and crazy on Saturday night. My wild and crazy is going to bed at like 10 o'clock. So let's watch out. So hopefully I can get myself actually on the Zoom tomorrow to start this SAL. But I do have it all marked like I showed you guys. So these are all the called fors. And then I did write down just in case. I mean, like I said, unfortunately, the Mo's silk is hard for you guys to do what I'm doing, but that's okay. So it's using the 14/16 because it shrinks a little bit when you dye at home. Blog Party Mend, hands-on design, and I'm starting tomorrow from my sweet friend Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher, her 1-year Flosstube anniversary SAL. So hopefully you can join, or you are already joining. If not, grab it because this isn't going to be super quick. I've never made one of these blocks, so I'm super excited. I don't think Jessica has either. So the blocks is fun. Sewing and putting together right on my alley. So that is my stitch along. And now let's move on. All right, friends, it is knitting whip time. And do you remember what's in the big old Capri Italy bag that I had made with my mama's fabric? It's my next sweater. It is the Calliope sweater by Espace Tricot. So sweet, right? But I'm not doing this peachy color. I'm doing mine in an emerald green. Pretty. Love this bag because it holds all 9 skeins, balls. They're in balls. 9 balls of yarn, all ready to go. But I did want to show you guys this. I did not show you last week because, you know, it's a slow process when you're going around, and each time around is like 300 or 400 stitches. And I do balance between knitting and cross stitching and quilting and all the things. So, you know, everything gets a little slow process. But so I wanted to show you, I didn't show you last week. So this is my marker from when the last time I showed you. So this is 2 weeks of knitting. Like I said, all I've done is gone around. Last time we talked about how I totally tackled, and I think I've got it right, the German short rows. And so then it's just raglan increases like it's my job. Unfortunately, I can't put it on to show you because my cable is only, I've got my stitch markers or my needle point covers, but it's coming along. And so this is, do you see? I think, if I did try it on, it might go over my shoulders, but so I'm doing my different little hashtags. I have to do 15 increases, and then I switch to a different raglan increase for another 15. And then I separate for sleeves. So maybe at that point I can try it on. So we'll see. So I just wanted to show you that I am knitting along. First of all, I just love the way this collar, these little ribbing, that effect with just the 3 stages of the increase. I just am so excited for it. I have found, oh goodness, I just lost the needle. Hold on. That would be catastrophic because I'm going to drop a stitch. And then my thing, well, pickles. Hold on. I made myself these little boxes. Thankfully, I could go over there rather than trying to look on the floor. I have 2 or 3 of these. These little plastic boxes I got for magnets. When I ordered things from Amazon and I got like a tube of magnets for needle minders, they came in these plastic doodahs. It was just the storage case that they came in. And I was like, oh, that's kind of fun and perfect. So I kept them. I keep all those little things. And so I used that. So I made myself little knitting kit boxes. Now, of course, I grabbed the one. I made 2 different ones. I bought a lot of magnets. So these sizes is like for a sock needle. This one, well, these are the extra knobbies, so that's good. I made some for sweater boxes. So that way, when I want to kit up a new project, kit up, cast on, whatever the terminology. When I'm ready to start a new one, I just grab one of those boxes and it's got stitch markers, a tapestry needle, and the needle stoppers all in one thing. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I kind of geek out on the organization of a craft as much as the actual craft. So the one thing I did want to show you, I found a hole. A drop stitch, a hole. I am going to have to figure that out. There's no going back and picking it up. Well, at least I don't know how to do that. Thankfully, it's in the sleeve, so maybe I can just tie it closed and nobody will be the wiser. I'll know it's there, but that's okay. It's only my second sweater. And then there's another hole. I can't tell what happened here. I made a stitch and then I dropped a stitch and then I picked it back up. Again, it's just another hole. Thank goodness it's the sleeves. Both of my shoulders are going to have unique little, this is handmade by Kari marks. Anyway, so that is my update on my knitting. So friends, so fun, loved it. Definitely went down the knitting rabbit hole, but that's okay. So last but not least, I wanted to show you, I know that last week we talked about the Tiger Lily table rental quilt along. Speed, fast, slow down. So goodness, that was over there getting into it. So last week I showed you the table runner top, the quilt top, because I had just finished it. Well, this week I decided I needed to fully finish the prototype. So yay! So the prototype is now not just a quilt top. It is a fully ready to put on the table runner. Yay! And I quilted it. Can you see? I did do the free motion meandering stitch, but I did it on my home machine and not my long arm. So that way, I can show you how to do it. We're going to do, where'd that thread? So this was on my home machine, not my long arm, totally doable. Does take some practice. So I'll give you some options for the quilting when we get to that point. But I did get it finished and I did a hand sewing, stitch in the ditch, binding. We'll talk about it more as we go, but it's coming along. Now, did you see? I do have, let me put it right here. Let's see how my video editing skills are upcoming. I do have the materials list finalized. Yay. And then I also have the calendar finalized. Yay. So hopefully I'm giving you plenty of time. Like I said, this doesn't start until March 13th. So you've got plenty of time still, I think 3 weeks to, maybe 2, I don't know. Let's say 3, to get yourself kitted up, get your fabric, get yourself ready. I think, try to film a kind of materials list video, so that way, because I do list a couple things in the materials that are optional that I think are super fantastic, and if you're ever going to go down the quilty rabbit hole, it's definitely great tools to have in your toolbox. They aren't have-tos, but some of my favorite quilty tools. So I did want to share some of that. Hopefully will shoot that video to load up and get you guys excited, just to show you what's going on sometime soon. But that is it. So it's coming along. I'm getting organized. In the meantime, I'm also getting ready for all the things associated with Tiger Lily. No Tiger Lily shop update today because it's the middle of the random month. So we're good. And that's what I've got for you, friends. So let's see. Stitching, knitting, quilting, all the things. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at Jessica's SAL. I'll pop into Zoom, hopefully. And that's it. So remember to enter in for the giveaway if you want to win that sweet little Plum Street sampler chart. Use the word all the things to enter. I would love for you to like and subscribe. It helps to grow the channel. I'm really having so much fun with you guys, and I'm so excited for this quilt along. My mom thought I was a little crazy by adding a quilt along to my to-do list, because I do have a travel plans, and then of course the April Keeper Club box, which is in full swing, and oh my goodness, it's fantastic. And then I'm getting ready for the other ones, all the things, just lots of things on my plate, but what's one more? Because it's fun. And so I just love this one, and I'm excited. I am going to start kitting up my prototype one that I'm going to sew with you. So more details regarding how the sew along is going to work. So the quilt along is going to work. It's a 4-week quilt along. And what we're going to do is we're going to, every Monday, I forget what, 10 a.m. Eastern. There we go. Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern, every week, I will come in and we're going to do that week's thing together. Meaning, like, 1 week, the first week, we're going to be cutting our fabrics and sewing our half square triangle cheater blocks is what I'm calling them. They're not really cheating. It's just, I think, a more efficient way of making 4 half square triangles at one time. So we're going to do that. That's step 1. So we're going to do it live on Monday at 10 a.m. And then the next Monday, I'm going to answer last week's questions. So you won't be that far behind. If you have a question, you're like, I don't have any idea how to do blah. And so we're going to go have a little Q&A regarding what we did last week. So we're going to get on the same page again, and then we're going to do the next week. So it's going to be great. The first week's going to be a little hard because there's no Q&A in the beginning, but I'm excited to hopefully, obviously we're doing it live. So if you're watching it live, Q&A with me live. Perfect. But if you do watch if you can't watch a live at 10 a.m. on Monday, if you're working, like I should be, but don't tell my boss. Then you have the opportunity to ask your question, and I will answer it during a Q&A. Now, if I do get lots of Q&As, if I get lots of questions on Monday, maybe I don't wait till the following Monday, and I come back and have a little subsequent quilt along Q&A. Maybe that's a better idea. So that way you guys have the weekend prior to the Monday to get caught up. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to need to do. See, we work it out together, friends. We work it out together. So Monday, live, ask your questions. If you can't ask your questions, we're going to ask them. I'm going to answer them again during a quilt along Q&A, as long as there's enough to answer. If there's only 2 questions, I'm not going to do a separate video. But if you guys have enough questions and I feel like I need to help you, that's the whole point of this thing, is for you guys to do this together with me. You can do it. I'm excited. Quilt along, table runnels for everyone. So that way I'll answer your questions, and it will give you time to see said answers, do said work, and get caught up for the next Monday. Are you excited? I'm excited. Okay, so that way we've got a plan, all the things, the project list, the materials are up. Step 1 is getting your materials. And then from there, we're just going to start it on Monday, March 13th. All right, friends, that is what I've got for you today on Flosstube Friday, all the things stitching, knitting, quilting. I hope you have a great week, a great weekend, great time doing all the things you love to do. Happy stitching, friends.